Because I'd like to share with our everyday citizen audience and readers um, why we're here, why we're blogging and everything. So that's it.
I'm Daryl Hamlin from Hays, Kansas, but actually right now I'm in the big tent
You're in the
at
big
the
tent?
Denver Convention, the Democratic National Convention. Pam, we're making a video outside the big tent.
Let's make a video.
What is this all about? What does the big tent mean to you?
Well, the Big Tent is a place that I've invited you and Shayla and several of the other writers from Everyday Citizen to join me here today so that we could have a central hub where we could eat and get internet connectivity and get food and meet other bloggers and meet other activists from around the country. And we could also plug in our laptops and plug in our cameras and charge up our batteries and just basically get fuel for our bodies and our equipment.
Okay, Pam, if you want to, we're outside the big tent if you want to walk around.
Okay, I'm with you, Daryl. Let's go. So this is the front door of the big tent?
Exactly. These two big stairwells here take you up to different stages where different seminars and conversations are taking place.
Okay.
In order to get in, you have to have a big tent pass.
Okay.
Now, it wasn't intended to exclude people. It was actually intended to include the kind of people
who
couldn't get into the floor of the convention, who aren't part of the normal mainstream media. So there's well over 300 people who jumped through the hoops in order to get the credentials to go into the big tent.
Okay, walk us in, Daryl. Show us this big tent. Okay, here we are. We're going with Daryl. Daryl and I both have tickets to the big tent, you see. And this is the way you walk in right here.
Anyway.
So if I'm right with you now. So this is the front door.
Yeah, what you're doing on some level is descending into a really kooky version of Plato's Cave, probably.
Okay. Now over here, Google is offering free massages and smoothies, I understand.
And you're into the main blogging arena.
Okay, I'm with you. Let's go.
Now, what you can see is that...
Could you tell me what you just asked me for when I walked in?
Your pass.
Okay, you asked me for this stuff right here?
Nope, this one.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Big Tent is some sort of, media center that's put together to give bloggers, I gather it was about 300 or so bloggers from around the country, access to the kinds of electricity, the things that they need to make their media presence felt, to sort of file their own stories.
So what's going on in this room around you right now, Daryl?
There's so much going on that I can't even, begin to tell you. There's some people giving away beer. There's mostly people lined up, writing up their stories. There are, above us and around us, there are symposiums going on where famous progressive speakers and politicos are talking about.
Hang on a second, Daryl. I'm going to take our viewers to a different shot so I can get a shot of the crowd, and then I'll come right back to you, okay?
All right, I'll be here. There it is.
Okay.
Okay. You've got a lot of couches lined up where people sit there because maybe they don't want to try to crowd in around a table. There are various television sets that are not only monitoring what's going on CNN and MSNBC and the mainstream media, but they're showing you live streaming feeds of what's going on in the other areas of the big tent. So if you want to go hear Arianna Huffington or Paul Krugman speak, you see him come up. Yeah, or Robert Kennedy Jr. You see them come up on the screen and you think, oh wow, that part of the schedule was here.
Let me jump away from my laptop, head up, and go hear somebody speak.
And they have charging stations for your laptop where you simply check it like you would check a coat.
Okay.
You give them your laptop, they plug it in for you, then you got your hands free and you can walk around for a little while your laptop is charging.
Okay. So Daryl, let me see. Let me go over here. You are working on your PC right now, are you?
Right. I'm putting together a blog post about some things that I saw yesterday.
Yep. What kinds of things do you have the impulse to say? Is it a large spectrum of things, or do you have certain things that you like to talk about, or?
Well, my deepest passion is for expanding narratives of public life and trying to find those stories of people who are actually doing democracy, but it's a little below the radar of the mainstream media.
Right.
People who are out there changing their neighborhoods, rebuilding something, but because we're so caught up in this red state, blue state stuff,
the people at the top
nobody ever
and the
finds
things
it.
they do.
And yet there are people out there who aren't professional politicians.
Right.
They don't run for office. They just work with other people in their communities to solve the problems that they have in common. And I think blogging is just an essential, it's almost like a lifeblood of citizenship, I'm finding. And I was telling somebody earlier today that for me, this is really what Thomas Paine was all about when he was publishing his pamphlets back during the Revolutionary War, because he was giving out these pamphlets to all the citizens in the colonies and encouraging them to rise up. And he was talking against his government. His first pamphlets were anonymous. His later pamphlets had his name attached to them. Then later, when Thomas Jefferson penned the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, that First Amendment, freedom of the press, that was really created in the spirit of Thomas Paine. Blogging brings back is the most important sense of citizenship, which is voice.
Right.
It's not simply something that citizens need. I think it's something that it's a profound psychological.
It's intrinsic to it is what citizenship is, in other words.
Right. And the great thing,
so citizens like you and me could be protected in saying what we think about our government and our society and what we demand and what we want to see changed. I don't really see freedom of the press as being freedom of the commercial newspapers or the big networks like CNN as so much as I see it as being our freedom. This impulse to blog, what causes you to want to blog? What's that all about anyway?
Well, I think it's part of, the noblest and the most profound impulse of citizenship itself. Blogging means to me freedom. That's what it means. Okay, Pam.
Okay, I just wanted you to know who was directing this little film. My name is Pam Poley from Everyday Citizen, and we're signing off now. How come you're in Denver, Colorado?
I have no idea.
Why did you come to this convention?
Because Pam Poley told me to.